Hey guys, it's Cain, and I just came to you guys um, to bring you guys a message that has come from my heart that God revealed to me as I was praying about what I should speak this week. I don't make videos because I love making videos. I don't do videos just to put content out there. I make these videos only when God tells me, speak to your brothers and sisters and to the Gentiles. It's going to be short. I don't want to take much of your time, but it's a call to anguish is the title. So let me begin. Folks, I'm tired of hearing about revival. I'm tired of hearing about awakening of the last days, the outpouring of the Holy Spirit. I heard that rhetoric all my life. Just a rhetoric. No meaning whatsoever. I'm tired about people in the church who say that they want their unsaved loved ones saved. I'm tired of hearing people say I'm concerned about my troubled marriage when it's just talk. Rhetoric. I look at the whole religious scene today and all I see are the inventions and ministries of man and flesh. It's powerless. It has no impact on the people saved and unsaved. And I see more of the world coming into the church and impacting the church than the church impacting the world. I see the music taking over the house of God. I see entertainment taking over the house of God. A hatred of correction and a hatred of reproof. Nobody wants to hear it no more. Whatever happened to agony in the house of God? Whatever happened to agony in the ministry? It's something you don't see in this pampered age. Emotion so stirred that it becomes painful. A deeply inner pain because of conditions about you, in you, or around you. The agony of God's heart. We've held on to our religious rhetoric and our revival talk, but we've become so passive. Our so-called stirrings, it lasts but a short time, and when these short revivals and awakenings coming from the hand of God, they are so short-lived. And in those times we promise God we will never return to the way we were. And weeks or months later, we slip. And it's further back into passivity than when we started. I'm speaking from experience. And during these times we say, this time, Lord, you've touched me for life. I'll never be the same. I'll never go back. It's like fireworks, a loud bang, a lot of noise, then it dies. All true passion is born out of agony. All the passion for Christ comes out of the baptism of agony. You search the word and you'll find when God determined to recover a ruined situation, he would seek out a praying man and he would take him down into the waters of agony. He would share his own agony for what God saw happening to his church and to his people. He would find a praying man, and he would take that man and literally baptize him in agony and anguish. I believe in the love of God. We've talked about it. We talked about mercy. We've talked about grace. We talked about the covenant of love. I believe in preaching the goodness and long suffering of Christ, but multitudes are being saturated with your okay messages, and we've gotten people now that are turning the grace of God into a game. We've become like the children of Israel who said the right words. But here's what God said: I have heard the words of these people. They have well said all they have spoken. Oh, that there were such a heart in them, that they would fear me and keep all my commandments always, that I might be well with them and with their children forever. He said, you have right words and songs, but your heart's not right. You find it in the book of Nehemiah. Jerusalem is in ruins. Jerusalem is broken down. The walls are down. Nothing but ruin. Now, these men, I'm sure, were godly men, good men, but had no concept of how God was going to deal with the situation, how he was going to bring a recovery. Why didn't they have an answer? Why didn't God use them in restoration? Why didn't they have a word? Because there was no sign of agony, no weeping, not a word of prayer. It's all ruin. When I heard these words, I sat down and I wept and prayed before the God of heaven. And God found a praying man. And he takes this man down into the waters of baptism, of anguish. This man goes down into anguish. And God found a man who would not just have a flash of emotion, not some great sudden burst of concern and then let it die. You see, we face a similar situation, except only ours is so much worse. Does it matter to you? Or matters at all that God, spiritual Jerusalem, the church, is now married to the world? That there is a coldness sweeping the land. So many people I know go one by one into passivity, going to churches where they can find smooth messages, no longer wanting to hear anything of wrath or correction. Does it matter about the Jerusalem in our hearts? The sign of ruin slowly draining spiritual power and passion? Folks, we're blind to lukewarmness, blind to the mixture that is creeping in. You see, when spiritual blindness comes, very few recognize it. It is the last recognized thing that happens to a child of God. In all honesty, there are numbers among us that are changing and they don't know it. You've lost your fight, so you won't labor in prayer anymore? You won't weep before God anymore. You can sit and be on your phone and watch your family go to hell. Does it matter that your unsaved loved ones are dying and we're getting closer and closer to the end? Does it really concern you? They could die and go to hell right now. Does that even bother you? Look, I know you guys are lovers of Christ. Where's the agony? Where are the tears? Where is the mourning? Where is the fasting? Where are the Sunday school teachers that weep over kids they know are not hearing and are going to hell? I know now it would take more than preaching, more than a new revelation. There is to be no new renewal and no revival, no awakening until we're willing to let him once again break us. It's getting late. It's getting serious. Don't tell me you're concerned. Don't tell me that loved one's saved when you're standing by yourself, spending hours in front of your phone, your internet, or television, rather than entertaining the thought of saving your unsaved loved ones, rather than entertaining the thought of saving your troubled marriage. And I hear this constantly. I want to save my marriage, Cain. What do I do? It's 120% and 120%. It's not 50-50. I'm tired of hearing that marriage is just a piece of paper. Money is a piece of paper, and you guys get up and work for it every day. Come on. There's some that need to confess, including myself. I am not what I was. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. God, I don't have your heart or burden. I wanted it easy, just wanted to be happy. There is nothing of the flesh that will give you joy. I don't care about how much money you have, how famous you are, how many houses you have. There is absolutely nothing physical that can give you joy. This only what is accomplished by the Holy Spirit when you obey Him and take on His heart, and He gives you the knowing voice. His knowing voice. God's knowing voice. That instant knowledge of God saying, this is the way. Walk in it. And the wonderful joy of seeing God answering your prayers. And build the walls around your family. Build the walls around your heart to make you strong and impregnable against the enemy. God, that's what our heart desires. Grace and peace be with you all.